On October 2nd, chaos erupted in Donghai County, Jiangsu Province. During what was supposed to be a joyful banquet, the roof of a restaurant suddenly collapsed, injuring 4 people. What should have been a day of celebration turned into a scene of panic and destruction. Videos circulating online show the entire top-floor facade of the restaurant crashing down, leaving the banquet hall in ruins. Firefighters rushed to the scene while terrified guests were pulled from the wreckage. Witnesses described how, just as the cold dishes were being served, the ceiling, pillars, and decorative structures all came crashing down together. The restaurant, Mingja Kitchen, is part of the Shimao Plaza Hotel complex. On paper, it holds all the proper licenses. But this collapse raises a question everyone in China knows too well. How many of these so-called licensed restaurants and hotels are really just Tofu-Dreg projects, cheaply built, quickly decorated, and dangerously fragile? Netizens were quick to connect the dots. This wasn't just an isolated accident. From the Suzhou hotel tragedy that killed 17, to the Quanzhou collapse that claimed 29 lives, the story is always the same. Illegal renovations, cost-cutting, and perfunctory inspections. Load-bearing walls treated like toys, safety sacrificed for profits. In the end, it's ordinary people paying the price. Some locals even mocked, "Every time we see a so-called partial collapse, it's not fate, it's Tofu-Dreg construction showing its true face." And they are right. In China, the term Tofu-Dreg project has become a symbol of reckless building practices. Flashy on the outside, hollow and weak on the inside. Hotels and restaurants may look grand with their marble floors and chandeliers, but beneath the surface they are fragile, waiting to crumble under the slightest pressure. Thankfully, this time no one was killed. But the lesson is clear. How many more warnings must society endure before building safety is taken seriously? Every collapse is not only a tragedy, but also a reminder that without strict inspections and accountability, the next banquet could turn into the next funeral. Another Tofu-Dreg construction exposed in Beijing. Just a few months ago, the Chaobai River Bridge in Beijing's Shunyi district suddenly caught fire and partially collapsed. This bridge, once hailed as a vital lifeline connecting Shunyi and Pinggu districts, instantly turned into rubble. Officials quickly reported no casualties, but the real question remains. How could such a critical piece of infrastructure burn and fall apart so easily? Videos shared online show the shocking moment. Thick black smoke rising into the sky, the bridge deck splitting apart, and massive sections of concrete plunging into the river. Eyewitnesses said the fire started in a pipe near the bridge before dawn, and within hours, the once busy crossing was reduced to ruins. Authorities tried to reassure the public, stating the fire was under investigation and that temporary traffic diversions were already in place. But netizens weren't convinced. One resident exclaimed, "This rainbow bridge near my home collapsed for no reason. We drive here every day. How can something this important fall apart like tofu?" The Chaobai River Bridge was built in 1999 and has undergone several repairs over the years. But many now believe those repairs were nothing more than cosmetic patches. In China, people have a bitter phrase for this: Tofu-Dreg projects, buildings and bridges that look solid from the outside, but crumble like soft tofu when tested by fire, water, or even time itself. This isn't just about one bridge. From collapsing hotels to crumbling overpasses, every new accident exposes the same deep-rooted problem: cheap materials, corner cutting, and weak supervision. Safety inspections often exist only on paper, while lives are put at risk on the roads, in restaurants, and inside homes. Thankfully, no lives were lost this time. But the warning is clear: if even Beijing, the capital city with the strictest oversight, can't escape Tofu-Dreg construction, what does that mean for smaller cities across the country? Every collapse is not an accident. It is a symptom of a larger disease. Unless accountability is enforced, the next Tofu Bridge may not collapse so quietly. In recent years, people across China have repeatedly witnessed tragedies caused by Tofu-Dreg projects. From bridges collapsing during rush hour, hotels crashing down in the middle of wedding banquets, to schools reduced to rubble after earthquakes, structures that were supposed to be safe have instead turned into deadly traps. Disasters such as the hotel collapse in Quanzhou that killed 29 people, or the dormitory collapse in Guangdong, have sparked outrage online. Citizens bitterly realized that behind the glamorous facades, many buildings are as fragile as rotten tofu. Today, the problem of Tofu-Dreg construction continues to spread across China. Bridges less than 20 years old are cracking, newly handed-over residential complexes are already leaking and sinking, and even major public works frequently experience accidents. Each time a collapse occurs, officials promise a serious investigation, but the results are usually just a few apologies before things return to business as usual. In truth, loopholes in safety supervision remain wide open, while many local officials turn a blind eye for the sake of economic interests. Every time a Tofu-Dreg project collapses, it not only destroys lives and property, but also shatters the fragile trust of the public. People ask themselves, if schools, hospitals, and bridges are nothing more than giant blocks of rotten tofu, is there anywhere safe left to live? These recurring tragedies are a wake-up call. Unless authorities tighten oversight, punish violations severely, and break away from the culture of quick profit, Tofu-Dreg projects will continue to rise, and the cycle of heartbreak and disaster will never end. Floods ravaged 22 rivers in Guangxi, sparking criticism from residents who accused authorities of downplaying the disaster. On October 1st, as the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, celebrated the 76th anniversary of its rise to power, people in Guangxi were suffering from devastating floods. Typhoon Boloi, the 20th typhoon of the year, and its remnants triggered flooding in 22 rivers across Guangxi, pushing water levels above warning thresholds. Floods swept through Bai's and other regions. But official reports failed to highlight the extent of the devastation. Local residents posted videos online questioning the CCP's lack of attention to the disaster. Videos circulating online showed severe flooding in many parts of Guangxi, with water rising as high as the third floor of buildings, leaving residents in dire conditions. Villagers reported that Zhuodengyao Township suffered the worst damage, with rice crops completely destroyed. Yao Min, a middle school student from Zhuodeng Township in Donghai County, Baize, told the Epoch Times, "Zhuodengyao Township in Baize was the worst hit. On Tuesday, September 30th, school had just dismissed when it suddenly rained heavily for an hour. It was so heavy that I couldn't even get home," Yao Min said. "Most people have evacuated and are seeking shelter elsewhere. I'm in Pingma town now. The first floors of houses in the village are underwater, and the crops have been hit even harder. There was a drought in July, and now this flood. Sigh. Everyone is staying in hotels and paying for their own meals. Hotels cost 50 to 60 yuan a day. We eat at noodle shops outside. Guangxi has many noodle shops, and they charge 7 to 10 yuan a bowl. I was at school, and my family picked me up and brought me to the hotel. The water level hasn't gone down yet. When I arrived at the hotel, my home was already flooded. There's still a lot of water in the village, and I don't think it will subside for the next 2 days. I'm worried it will keep raining, and the flood will only get worse." He added that students in Zhuodeng have been living on campus for the past few days. "My parents moved the furniture upstairs. We didn't expect the water to rise this high. Some elderly people couldn't evacuate during the flood, but they should be able to get out now." He continued, "We usually grow rice and other crops here, but they're all gone. Farmland is always lower than the houses, so if the houses are flooded, the farmland doesn't stand a chance. It's too dangerous to go back to the village now. There's no point in returning. Even if anything was soaked, it would already be spoiled by now." Despite this, official media reports made little mention of the local disaster. Across Guangxi, 32 hydrological stations along 22 rivers, including the Zhuojiang, Yujiang, and Yujiang rivers, reported flood levels exceeding warning thresholds by 0.03 to 4.92 meters. The highest level was recorded in Donghai Town, Fusui County, Chongzuo City. The Guangxi Hydrological Center predicted that over the next 24 hours, the Yujiang River at Longgan and the Zhuojiang River through Chongzuo would continue rising by around 0.3 meters. while the Fusui section of the Zhuojiang and the Yujiang River could rise by 1 to 2 meters. Yet official media downplayed the situation. Most outlets only mentioned water levels and scattered rescue efforts, while ignoring the human suffering on the ground. On October 1st, netizens took to Weibo to plead, "Please pay attention to the floods in Baisei, Guangxi." Some also questioned why the floods in Baisei were not trending online. Earlier, on September 30th, Guangxi Baisei media reported that at 5:30 a.m., the Donghai County Fire Department had received a call that residents were trapped in Nayang and Nazao villages, Chengguan town. A landslide had buried 13 people, and multiple roads to the area had collapsed, blocking vehicles and rescue machinery. Officials later confirmed the 13 people had been rescued, while simply urging the public not to believe or spread rumors.